Hey, welcome back to another episode from Life for Living Well. My name is Richard, and the topic I have for you today, I call it Power of Gratitude. Yes, you hear me right. So the topic, once again, I call it Power of Gratitude. Before we jump to the podcast, I quickly want to say, for those who have sent me questions and for those who asked me to talk about a particular topic, thank you so much. For especially Tracy for helping out with the script and the editing and proofreading before we come to live. I really want to thank you and appreciate your support. Before we get started once again, my name is Richard, and if you'd like to contact me, you can easily send me email to hello@lifeforlivingwell.info. And if you'd like to know more about the website, what Life for Living Well does, you can check our community website out at www.lifeforlivingwell.info. Thank you for your time, and thank you for listening to this episode this week. The topic I have for you today, I call it Power of Gratitude. If any single habit or mindset can reduce, minimize, or soften our hardships or difficulties in life, or improve our experience or how things happen to us, is one thing. I call it gratitude. I once met someone a few years ago, and everything seemed to go well in this person's life. But for some reason, she's having a difficulties with her immediate family members, and she complained about it. And that complaint has also come down to her job, that she complained all the time about her job, where she used to be, where she expects to be, and where she is right now. And I look at her, and it was the same job that allowed her to travel over the world, allow her to take up her amazing hobby like diving, and allow her to do things that the money can do in that sense. But one day I turned around and I said, wouldn't you be grateful for having a mom that's difficult? Would you be grateful for having a siblings that you need to work harder to understand them and understand yourself? Wouldn't you be happy that you have a job that supports your lifestyle? And then she turned around. She said, I don't need to be grateful or thankful for anything. I deserve it. Yes, it's true. She might have well deserve it, but attitude are making it difficult for her to really appreciate it, to enjoy it, to actually get the benefit from the amazing door her skills has opened for her. So what I'm trying to say is that sometimes when we fail to show gratitude for what we already have, we're always going to worry about what is not there or what can be there. And at the end, it makes us more miserable. And that miserable can do two things, can push people that can help us away from us. I don't know many people like to spend their time with miserable people. Most people like to spend their time with pleasant people. And our thinking can affect our emotions. Our emotions can affect our actions and behavior to ourselves and to others. So gratitude will be the thing that lifts us away from the negative emotions quicker. And because we cannot run away, we cannot pretend, we cannot deny, we cannot suppress it. It's unethical to suppress your negative emotions, but the only thing that will make you get out of it quicker, faster, is to show gratitude to what you already have. And that will prepare you to do or take actions that will take you to where you want to go. So, why is the people pray when they have problems. Some people would love to travel, but they couldn't travel because of their deformities or physical or lack of resources. But when you show gratitude, you begin to take a small step which lead to the bigger steps in your life. Folks, through the gratitude, you can change your brain to learn to enjoy what you already have. The biggest challenge for most people is to continue to love what you already have. Our mind is always asking for more and looking for more and looking for more. Once we think that when we get one thing, it will make us happy. When we get it, it's not enough. We are looking for more. And when you show gratitude, while you are looking for more, you'll be also able to appreciate what you already have. So our difficulty lies in overthinking of the past or future. So people that lack gratitude, they cut up in two things. They are the customers that lack in the past, or they overthinking of what may happen in the future. It's great anxiety for them. So, but our brain and mind do not shut up. We keep thinking and keep thinking. So when you look around you, you will always find one thing that you can be grateful for. The day might full of evil, the day might full of unpleasant experiences, but there's always one thing that is good in the day. Think about it came out in autumn at 6:30 in the morning, and you look into the sky and you saw eclipse of the moon. Don't you say wow? Or you stop for a minute. You wanted to check the pulse, the pace of your breathing. You wanted to stop and know the pattern of your breathing. Most people have no idea how their breathings sound like. They have not taken time to stop and feel and sense how their breathing pattern is. Why is that? It's because it's free. We don't tend to appreciate things that's so critical, but because we have it free, we just ignore it. And we spend our energy and time on something that brings little for us, but we spend a lot of time because we labor for it, we value it above things that are essential for us. When was the last time you ever said thank you to that a friend that gave you 10 minutes of their time, listening to the trouble you have at work, listen why you remain single, listen to you? When did you just shut up and let your friend talk rather than you, every conversation you have to say something? When did you look into your father and your mother and you look at them and say, yes, thank you, even though they might have hurt you from their own demons, but you rise above it. You looked at it. Nobody decided to have a child and brought that child to the world and said, I'm going to damage that child. But unfortunately, they will do if they have not dealt with their own demons. When was the last time you looked into the sky and you saw the bird flying and you saw the insect flying and you said thank you? Imagine you are an insect and you going out to look for a food for your family. You have no control what may happen to you. Your life might be cut short by another being, not because they're deliberately looking to kill you, just because the nature of the being, they are walking and they step over you and your life is cut off. But you are not like that. You also have a choice. But you say, why? You have many reasons to be grateful. So gratitude alone to do a lot more. Someone's speaking better by saying that the richness of life is better than the riches of life. And our environment, our society have coached us to focus our energies to the riches of life. such as material things, such as status, such as what the money can buy. But the riches of life is able to be where you are and be happy at the same time. And that help you to create the life that you want to create for yourself. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong being endorsed with the riches of life. But if you prioritize being authentic, being happy in your life, you should consider or focus on richness of life. And one of the riches of life is to be grateful. Confucius once said that everything is grateful, but not everybody says it. And it takes a person that know the art of gratitude can see beauty in everything. Summer, beautiful. Winter, beautiful. Spring, beautiful. Autumn, beautiful. But if you ask so many people, they say, well, I like summer. I like autumn. And I was telling to a friend that I've met last week as we were walking, and we're talking about why many people do a lot of exercise in summer. And I laughed and I said, if you want a summer body, you need to train in spring and winter. You need to train in autumn and winter. Not just start training in summer when you need a summer body. And then she laughed and I laughed as well. So what I'm trying to say, learn to dance in the middle of storms. When pleasant things come, great, thank you for that. When unpleasant thing comes, great, thank you for that. It wasn't going to be easy, but you needed to train your mindset to it began to work in this way. You realize that the law of physics, according to Newton's third law, to every action, there's equal and opposite reactions. So there is no right without left. There is no happiness without sadness. There is no good without bad. The only thing that will help you to find a balance in all these paradox of life is to learn to be grateful, learn to show gratitude to what have happened to you and how you are reacting to it, because it will shape you to become the highest of your potential. You have no idea what you may become, but embracing gratitude to your life will help you to navigate the storm in the middle of the oceans. Because anyone tell you that they have a blueprint for life, don't believe them. Because your blueprint for your own life is different from my own blueprint for my own life. But one thing that is so universal and is a law of the universe, and it doesn't matter where you are in the world, is to learn how to be grateful. When I met somebody so sad or unhappy, difficult to live with, is somebody that lacks gratitude. They always expecting bigger than what is already have. What they have is never enough. What somebody else's life is better than their life. Even the reality show the opposite. Your chapter 1 might be somebody else chapter 10. Somebody else chapter 10 might be somebody else chapter 5. So learn to be grateful. Okay, so I really want to share a quotation that I saw sometimes in the week, and it goes like this: when some things go wrong, take a moment to be thankful for the many things that are going right. And this is true. So the moment things have gone wrong in your life, use that opportunity to look at the things that have gone right and be grateful for that. You wanted to do some project and you didn't get it. Think about the project that you're managed to got and do it successful. Be grateful. And the door that's shut, another door will open for you. So before I look into the benefits of gratitude, which I'm going to use to bring the podcast to the end, is to set a challenge to yourself. Do daily. What are the 3 things you're more grateful for today? Or do it weekly. What are the 3 things you're more grateful for that week? Because when you show gratitude, something will begin to change your life. You become radiant like a sun. And you become like a salt that, a soup without a salt is so flat. And if you put too much salt into the soup, it's so sour, difficult to have. But if you put the right amount of salt into the stew, it becomes tasteful, it becomes much better. So when you learn how to be grateful, your situation don't necessarily going to change, but the attitude and the approach and the energy and the innovation that you need to get yourself up and start again will come naturally to you. Muhammad Ali said that the difficult fighter he ever fought is someone that never gave up. Resilient. Your gratitude will create resilience for you because you will need it. Because this life you will experience up and down, up and down. You will try to get so many things, you will get a lot, but you won't get everything you want. If you don't learn how to be grateful, you will live your life in frustration. You will full of anger, you will full of anxiety. You will push people that you're supposed to keep in your life, you push them away. You will attract the wrong people into your life that you're supposed to cut off from your life. Learn to be grateful. So let's look at the 3 benefits that I put down. Number 1, your mental health will improve, especially your mood. You'll be able to reduce stress and depression. Because when you have developed this, when you have been using the power of gratitude to the maximum, one thing will decrease in your life a lot is focusing on your past too much. We are thinking about it, ruminating about the event that happened 3 years ago. I saw someone recently and she was so carried away talking about herself, and I was thinking she was talking to 2 people in the room. So I knocked the door. I was expecting to see people there that just to tell them that they are too loud, and it was only one person. But she was ruminating about things that happened to her 4 years ago. I was so shocked. So I said to her, "Do you realize how loud your conversation with yourself is?" And she said, "Don't worry, I'm not mad." But there's no definition of madness. It's ruminating about things that happened 4 years ago in such a loud way that the people that actually hurt you or disappoint you, they already forgot about it. But you have given them a free rent in your mind that you are still living 4 years right now, because that event that happened 4 years ago is still happening right now for that person. So that kind of person is to help them to learn how to be more grateful, because they have so many things to be grateful for, but at the moment they focus on things that didn't go well. So number 2, it also shift you more to optimistic side. And research has shown the benefit of become an optimist. It shows that the people that are optimistic tend to live longer and have a better health than people. And it's not a rocket science to say that, because when you believe that you can change a thing, you will make a change when it's necessary. Whether to eat well, either to eat healthy, either to do the exercise, this thing will come naturally for you. But you won't be able to do that if your mindset is so locked in negative of "I cannot do that" or "I'm useless." So learn to be grateful. Allow gratitude, use the power of gratitude to change your situation. And the last one is your relationship become more deeper. You no longer invest your time on vain or baseless relationship. And relationship you get yourself on, the intimacy, the closeness, the deepest of that relationship become more important to you. You value, you see people the way they are rather than the way you want to see them. You accommodating their strengths and their weaknesses because you are more grateful. You realize that the differences that they brought to your life is contributing to it as well. So, friends, as you listen to me this week, I hope you can take one or two things from this podcast. The power of gratitude. Use it for your own greater good this week and to be happy when your day goes well. Once again, if you want to contact me or you like to contact me, you can usually send me an email to hello@lifeforlivingweb.info, or you can send it to info@lifeforlivingweb.info. And if you'd like to know more about what we do as a community, you can check us out on our website at www.lifeforlivingweb.info. Once again, my name is Richard, and stay well and stay safe. Thank you.